name is Vishnuvardhana Analaki Mogan, and my matrix number is MC2601397776. And today I'm presenting a case study that related marketing and intellectual property issue, which is marketing crisis involving the AirAsia and also the street artist name called Ernest Zacharevic. The reason I choose this case study because it's still an active case and it's still ongoing legal dispute, which is the case has been filed as a lawsuit earlier this year by Ernest Zacharevic against AirAsia. It's a very current example where how brands get trouble when they use other people's work without any proper permission. So moving on to the interesting part, which is the background. So who is Ernest Zacharevic? So he is a Lithuanian born artist based in Penang, Malaysia. Back in 2012, there's a festival happened in Penang, Georgetown, where he painted a mural called Children on Bicycle. What means Children on Bicycle means there's a bicycle, there's a two children sit on the bicycle with a smile face. So over time, the mural become more iconic and many people take the photograph there at a street in Malaysia, Georgetown. That place become a major tourist attraction, and most as a Malaysian, we already know when we see the mural, we can know it's made by Ernest Zacharevic. So this issue happened between October and also November 2024, and AirAsia used this exact mural for their external design as part of their plan as a form of a corporate branding. Once Zacharevic found out and publicity is issued, AirAsia did remove the mural from the plane. But however, AirAsia was not isolated in an incident. So he claims his artwork has shown up in the AirAsia email marketing campaign, online advertisement, in flight maintenance, not flight maintenance, flight magazines, food delivery ads, and also printed banners. So in January 2025, Zacharevic has been announced that he want to take a legal action against the AirAsia. But before he doing this legal action, he took almost 2 months to resolve the issue privately and professionally with AirAsia. According to him, he said that the airline responds following a pattern, which is they will standard a corporate statement, deny the past unauthorized use is as accurate, and eventually they offer some kind of settlement to Zacharevic, which he says his own word lah. So however, he ended up the final offer. He rejected the final offer from the AirAsia. So on 9th February 2025, Ernest Zacharevic filed a lawsuit at the Malaysian High Court. He named both AirAsia and also a parent company called Capital A Berhad. As we can see, this article also as mentioned his lawsuit, which is Yahoo News. So it's mentioned about a lawsuit. What is the several claims all about this thing lah. So what is Zacharevic asking to in the court is one his rights where he want to stopping AirAsia from using his work for in the future lah without proper permission, and also he also want a penalties from AirAsia, which AirAsia did the unauthorized use for years, right? So he wants the penalty from the money they like say AirAsia use this thing, so they want the penalty, right? So but the thing is the case is still ongoing on and it's still not finished, it still is not settled yet lah. What the case. So what's the impact on the AirAsia when they use this kind of work, other people work without permission? So first thing is reputational impact. As we know that AirAsia is positioned as a fund, giving a cultural proud brand, it celebrates the local cultures across Southeast Asia. But when accused that they do repeatedly using a local artist work where they did where the Zacharevic did artwork, but the AirAsia is just copied the artwork and without paying or crediting them. Lah. So it's completely ruined the image of the brand. So it's look like less appreciation and more like culture exploitation, which is a serious problem for any brand that markets itself on a giving like a community spirit. Like, means that Asia ruining their brand by themselves by name using cultural references, but they're using other people without proper permission. So the second issue has become bigger than just a dispute between Asia and Zacharevic. I framed a video issue that saying that companies can get away using artists' work without consequences is actually harmful for entire creative industry, not just for him only personally. It's also framing invited for other artists, for marketing creativities, industry media, from the public who started seeing is a bigger conversation about how corporation treat independent creators. Lah. So the third is there's a legal and financial expert everywhere, but because this court has been the case is still ongoing on. So AirAsia not faces as a penalty. The court case has been proceeding to public as well. There's a media there giving a negative press lah. So it's actually giving a reputational damages to AirAsia, means a negative impact to AirAsia market lah. So what personally I learned from the AirAsia mistake. So now personally I want to share what I learned lah. So the first thing is proper intellectual property and license checks should be standard and follow the steps by steps in the marketing process. So before they're doing existing creative work where it's either mural, song, any photograph or any related about kind of arts, in a marketing campaign, the marketing teams need to get a proper permission and put a license agreement first. When they ignore these steps, the legal and also the financial risk can come back and answer the company years after the years later, like AirAsia happening right now. So the second lesson is that referencing local culture doesn't mean something free to use. AirAsia rapidly tried to argue that the mural was just for general reference to give Malaysian culture and Penang culture. But actually it's not like that. Zacharevic pushback, the fight back, it says it's not about the reference of the cultures. It's actually it's an original piece of art that took many years to create a mural. It's actually there's many things behind the mural, not just a references to religion. So as a marketer, we need to understand the culture reference. Don't override someone's legal ownership for their work. So the third lesson is about repeated behavior and slow responses can turn into a single mistake. Much bigger credibility problem. So if I see the issue happen once, it's okay. We can say it's honor oversight, but because this thing is happening for decade, so actually it's a AirAsia mistake. They did very slow and defensive, and this is actually fixable error. But AirAsia make the issues more bigger lah. So it's actually AirAsia can handle the issue earlier and honest deal with the problem before become any serious. So actually AirAsia can do a simply approach Zacharevic from the beginning of stage, work with the proper documentation, licensing agreement, everything. So this issue won't become serious, but AirAsia didn't do this thing. So this become a lawsuit. So before I conclude my case study, regarding this AirAsia and Ernest Zacharevic, is strongly reminder for other marketers, respectively others people's work, not just copy and paste without a proper consent, can emulate over time and eventually turning into a legal issue, I would say. So my advice is not my advice, it should be everyone's advice. Don't simply copy paste others' work without proper permission, and also without paying anything. They should follow the law made by the nation and also the government. That's the thing. So that's all for me. Thank you.